Sony is reportedly coming out with a new handheld console. And with the competition and what we know so far, I honestly think it could be the greatest handheld console ever. What is good, y'all? It is the Young King Ken, and today we're discussing the new PlayStation Portable that is rumored to release and speculate on how this console can outdo the competition. Also, please comment below on what you would like to see from a new PlayStation Portable console. Without further ado, let's get into this. As far as what we know, according to Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson, it has been reported that the next PlayStation handheld, codenamed Q Lite, is in development. May we also note that this console may exclusively support PlayStation Remote Play, and for those that don't know, allows you to play PlayStation games on your personal devices with the requirement of either a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 console, and a high-speed internet connection for not only the console, but also the remote device that you plan on using. The early devices make it look like a lot like a PS5 controller with an 8-inch LCD touchscreen in the center and supports adaptive triggers and haptic feedback. The console is set to release after the PS5 detachable disc drive, which is supposedly in September 2023, and before the release of the PlayStation 5 Pro, which is supposed to release around holiday 2024. I'm not gonna lie, if this is all we get for this handheld, this thing is doomed to fail. Remote play and comfortable streaming of games is already laggy and difficult enough with a pretty good internet connection, and personally, I feel I have a pretty good connection, but let alone it being the primary requirement along with having a PS5 is going to turn some heads away. We haven't even talked about the price point of it. Look at the PlayStation Vita, for example. While it had a cult following, it failed because it was so expensive at the time and difficult for developers to make games, which resulted in a lack of third-party support. The PlayStation VR 2, which some could still consider it new, a lot of people turned a blind eye to it once they saw the price point, which was more expensive than the console that it's made for. And the fact that you couldn't even play like the full PlayStation VR library. There's like some exclusivity to it. Not going to lie again, the PlayStation backbone it already sounds like a better deal. Though Sony hasn't officially announced the Q Lite or whatever this thing is going to be called, it would be a great time to speculate and discuss features that could make this the greatest handheld console ever. And to start off the speculation, one part that I like about this report is that of the hardware. It will model the PlayStation 5 controller and its features. I think what could make this even better is to include the detachable interchangeable joysticks similar to the DualSense Edge. I still remember the days of my PSP where not even months later, after I received it, I would have serious drift issues, which annoyed the living mess out of me. And of course, I didn't want to send it back for repairs and all that. Come on, Sony, please. And another item that would be cool would be Bluetooth connectivity, as in being able to use wireless headphones, headsets, or even have other PlayStation 5 controllers connected to this for local multiplayer. I understand that the report says it may require remote play and the constant online connectivity, but honestly, I would buy this day one if you're able to play your PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 games offline with the use of an SD card. And with handhelds, I know the Switch does this slightly with their Joy-Cons, but the ability to customize the plating and the shell of the handheld would be pretty sick. Not gonna lie. And speaking of customizable, I want to go into my dream features, which to start off would be a customizable home screen. I'm using the PlayStation 3 and the PSP as a model for this. I feel that this is important to make the experience more personal, more like it feels like more like home to the player. Going back to offline play though, it would be cool to download games from our PlayStation 5 catalog directly from the console through a wired connection, allowing us to play our PS5 library offline in places where great internet access is limited. Also, being able to use the handheld itself as an extra PlayStation 5 controller would be pretty cool. We're already spending a lot on this handheld, and if it's going to be modeled after the controller, why not use it as one? Now, to talk about the games, we should not have handheld exclusive games, as that would repeat what I mentioned before with the PlayStation Vita failing. However, this will be a great opportunity to utilize the PlayStation Plus tiers to include more PSP and PSP Vita games as part of the library. In my opinion, having to require the user to purchase a PS5 and a Q Lite would be ridiculous given the price point. And I want the Q Lite to be sort of a mini PS5, PS4, being able to play those games offline. So as far as the price point goes, I wanted to talk a little bit about the competition, or what I see as the competition, before getting into what I think this Q Lite should cost. So to start off, I wanted to start off with the Asus ROG Ally, which is the newest competitor in the game, starting off at $600, which the Ally serves as a mini gaming PC, which includes the Armory Crate and Game Pass. And it could be compared to like a more powerful Steam Deck, in which the Steam Deck starts off at $400. And there are like different price tiers based off of the storage. But the Steam Deck allows you to play Steam games. And then next would be the also popular Nintendo Switch, which they have several different versions. The OLED and then the handheld only system. But the original version costs $300, which you can play games that are exclusive to Nintendo and their history. And then you're able to play a large library of third-party games. And then finally, I wanted to address the PlayStation Backbone, which is only $100, which serves as a controller for your phone, which you're able to utilize PS Remote Play, and you're able to play some Xbox games and other phone games as well. I think with what we know, I think the power of the Q Lite will be similar to a Steam Deck, with the exclusivity of the PlayStation library, which includes some hard-hitting third-party games, similar to the Switch, and will have more features controller-wise than the Backbone. This console should not, and I mean should not, cost any more than the PlayStation 5 digital, which is currently priced at $400. And I honestly think that pricing this should be closer to the Nintendo Switch, or a cheaper version of the Nintendo Switch, in which I predict that the Q Lite should cost within the ballpark of $250 to $350. $250 if it's as advertised and it's a remote exclusive console. But I want to raise it up to around $300 if it has the features that I mentioned throughout the video. And with given the release window as mentioned earlier, I can see this releasing holiday 2023 or early 2024. So in conclusion, this new PlayStation Portable, or the Q Lite, could be the greatest handheld console ever due to its potential in the market and the variety of features that could be included as mentioned throughout the video. Again, what features would you like to see on the Q Lite? Comment below. And while I do discussion videos like these, I also do gameplays, live streams, and anime related content. So please subscribe and hit that like button if you enjoyed, and hit that bell for all of the notifications that come your way. Until the next video, I will need y'all to keep our kingdom seasoned, y'all.